Bert, if we had to come up with the ultimate question, it's not about the universe, creation, ourselves, consciousness. It's that fundamental concept. Why is there anything at all? Why is there something rather than nothing?
Okay, well, Heidegger thought that was the fundamental question too, but he thought that that way of putting the question was wrong. I think similar to Kant, who thought you could ask about why is this chair here and not an empty space, but about the whole universe. To ask why is there that is to ask like something like a causal question. And Heidegger's got a whole book about the principle of sufficient reason, which is about why there must be a reason for it, why there must be a reason why there's something rather than nothing. And he says it's part of metaphysics. It's a wrong-headed question. You can't ask that question expecting a kind of rational answer to it. And it sounds like Kant. I mean, you can't ask about, there's no, it's not something that has a reason or a cause. So there is this question, that the principle of sufficient reason, and that's this in German, the Satz von Grund, and Satz means leap. And I think, why would he want to make a big deal about whereas principle is the usual translation? I think what Heidegger's thinking is that we're always already in it, the meaning, the universe, the world, things that are. And it's only from within it that we can deal with it and so forth. And that's the leap. Instead of getting an answer, you sort of switch the position. And instead of looking like a philosopher and a metaphysician, standing outside and looking at being and saying, well, why is there being rather than nothing? You see that you could never be in that position.
Because you're in it.
Because you're in it. And that's, I think, what is the right thing for him to say. And then you can have a kind of mystical awe in there being something rather than nothing, a feeling somehow about it that Heidegger seems to have, but you can't ask this kind of traditional philosophical
Because I feel that emotion about that question.
Well, and Heidegger does too. He thinks that's...
So that's legitimate.
Yeah, what poets and painters sense this question. Heidegger went and sat at the place where Cézanne sat when he painted Mont Saint-Victoire, and said Cézanne could experience being shining through. And so being is there and it's shining in Heidegger, and but it's just wrong to ask why is being there shining. We just have to accept it and be grateful for it and
the core reason we can't make progress is because we're in it and we can't get out of it to look at it as a third person.
That's right. That would be the philosophical mistake. Philosophers have always thought that they could be, as Plato put it, friends of God, standing on the outside looking in. But if you don't do that, then you have Heidegger.
So to Heidegger, it's impossible to do that.
Yes.
And you can appreciate it, but you can't analyze it.
Yes, exactly. Put it perfectly.